Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. I just finished my 60 Simulacrum project in 323 out of Exile Affliction League, and today I want to go over the results. What stuff do we find, any like crazy items or anything that is out of the order, for example, or is this what I'm showing you today, the complete average, what you can expect farming your Simulacrums if you would start right now? And the answer is hell yeah, because I was unlucky. Okay, some drops are good, some are bad, you know, but I think it's totally into the average. There was no big tickets like a 1 passive voices. It goes for like a mirror or something. No 3 passive voices. Shit tons of megalomaniacs and stuff like that. So today I want to go over the final stand, basically, right? So next to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quad taps filled with many things. I just was about to say shit and trash, but nope. There is quite a bunch of those things selling quite often. I just filled all the quad tabs so I like can free up some space. We still have like, I don't know, like 50, 60 megalomaniacs up for sale and many other things. All of that is not in the calculation, just by the way. I'm just going to talk a little bit later on how I'm going to process or proceed selling everything. So let's take a look at the the spreadsheet, the good old spreadsheet. So we have bought 30 divines worth of simulacrums. Basically, one divine gives you like 2 simulacrums. So my current investment was around about 6,450 chaos, which is about 30 divines. And with the Exalt exchange ratio, I'm an old man, okay, at least an old PoE player. Obviously, it's the divine chaos change ratio. You know, one divine is 250 chaos. This is what I want to say. Good. What did we get, and what do we have overall? So I would say we're gonna start with the currency tab, but more importantly the trades tab, because the trades tab is what did I sell the more expensive items, because this currency from the trades is obviously in the currency tab, because I did not pick up 313 divines while farming 60 simulacrums, because that would be a bit awkward, right? So let's start with the trades, which is most likely going to be the most interesting one. I basically tracked every sale that was above 1 divine, basically. For example, my first sell was like a crit multi-fractured Viridian Jewel for like a divine. I had a 21-24, so gems basically, right? Split personalities, and basically around about this part here was like the first day of Simulacrum. And here you're gonna see a small RMR cluster jewel, like the mana reservation efficiency with 3 passives, item level 84, was going for 25 divines at that day when I sold it, because later on I found another one that sold for 30 divines, for example. I also found a strength intelligence split personality that on that day, as I say again, sold for 40 divines, the first one, and literally in the next day in the morning I found another one. So I was like, bro, we're gonna get like a mirror profit out of the simulacrums. But sadly, in the last like 30 runs or something, there was like 1 megalomaniac sold for 10 divines, and that's pretty much it, right? So no big sales whatsoever, no big drops in the last like, I don't know, 15 or even 20 simulacrums. But I had like a really good start with a double strength intelligence. And there's like many more items. We dropped an Enlighten support for, back in the day, 7.6 divines, 12 passive, spell damage 1 for 3 divines. We had strength life, 2 split personalities, 8 and 8.40 divines, and many other things. But the big ticket items for me were 2 small cluster jewels with the mana reservation efficiency, as well as the 2 split personalities. That is pretty much the big ticket item. Or items. Wait, I found actually 3 of those. I just see. I'm just checking what are like the highest numbers over here, which are those. So I found them 3 times the small cluster, 25, 28, and 30 divines. So they went just more expensive over time, as well as the 2 split personalities. So can you expect those to drop? Of course you can. And you can drop even crazier stuff in here. And that's why I'm saying I have absolutely no problem giving this information further and say like, hey, if you want to do 60 sims, you most likely going to get the same results or even better results. Because I don't know, like a 3 passive voices, I don't know how much they go for, like 250 divines or something. So that would add up so quickly. But I think I'm definitely not any special drops or anything like that. which gives me a total of like 313 divines over here, which is split in like 272 divines, 29 exalts, 48 annuals, ancient orbs, shit tons of. And yeah, I mean, there is always the factor of bulk selling, because obviously 81 ancient orbs can be bulk sold, but I did not go too out of the way and say like, oh, these specific currency can be bulk sold, the other one maybe, the other one maybe. You know, I'm strictly talking about what the program Excellence Next told me, and if they say, yo, you have 67,297 chaos in your tab, then this is exactly what I put in here, so I don't want to get any confusion here. Yo, MB, you could have bulk sold the ancient orbs. Yeah, I know, and I will, obviously. So there's gonna be more currency overall. Fragments. Yeah, fragments is basically everything that can be a fragment, which is auto-sorted, shit tons of like dusk, I don't know, like 5-way sets, a shit ton of breachstones, you know, with like 10 of almost each of the normal ones, a couple of Ulnitals and Chayulars obviously being the most expensive, no Eldritch Thingies, but a total of, what is it, 4,093 Scarabs. And I did not bulk price them just because I have some people saying, yo, with that many Scarabs, you know, you don't get a 1-to-1. You probably, if you want to sell everything at once, you probably get a 0.9 ratio. Somebody else said like, yeah, with that many that you have, you can maybe get a 105% ratio or maybe 110. So I said like, you know what, I just keep them on 100%, no bulk selling here, because it's gonna be probably hard to sell that many Scarabs in bulk and make a pretty penny on top of that. But almost 4,100 Scarabs picked up in the 60 Simulacrums. So it's 111 divines. Divination cards, I think I sold all the expensive ones. So I think currently in my div tab, and there are a couple of good ones like the Fortunate. We have, I don't know, I think the Dragon's Heart, we have a couple. Fortunate, we have like 4 of them. What else was there? I don't know, like Monochrome, something, Elevated Sextant. So there are quite a bunch of like divination cards, but the ones that were above a divine, I sold directly, and the ones below a divine, I just kept into this stash, and is a like insane amount. It's not gonna be fun to turn all of them in, but hey, if you want to have money, you know, you gotta do stuff that you don't want to do sometimes. 19 divines undead. Essences is another special topic, because essences I upgrade. You're only gonna drop screamings, or sometimes from the incubators you can drop like higher ones. But what I did, I just upgrade everything and just throw the rest away in my personal tab, just to have like a more beautiful overview on what I actually got here. And essences you can definitely bulk price, and I put a 1.3 multiplier on them, which is around about almost 9,000 chaos, like 41 divines in essences. Fossils, nothing to add too much about it besides the 15 prime chaotic resonators. I think I can easily bulk sell those, because, and on the trade I only found like one person that sold more than one, and that was like 2, so I guess I should be fine with getting some extra penny here, but did not do it in the calculation. Blight, I mean, there is like a shit ton of oils, like 1,400 clear oils. I mean, if you upgrade everything, maybe you get like a couple golden oils out of it, but nothing too crazy. 7 divines in total, which is mostly coming from the last 3 over here. I don't know, this could be a bit rigged, because I don't know how much it prices the clear oils, but this is like, you know, 1 chaos for like, what, 69 clear oils, or even more than that. But it's only like a minor part from the entire project, so I didn't bother too much with it. Then Delhi, not really, only if you run like Delhi incubators or something. I had a couple of splinters and Delhi maps, but I put them away because they naturally do not drop in the Simulacrum, so I don't want to like put some false thingies in here. But there are like Simulacrum or Delhi incubators, and those were the splinters from, right? Good, next one, Catalyst, absolutely no Catalysts in here. And then we have maps, and maps is quite a lot, 47 divines. So, obviously, I've dropped, I don't know, how many maps did I drop in total? If I just summarize all of them, it's about 2,500 maps. And I just said, like, you know what, every map, 1 to tier 5 is a chaos, whatever, just so we have them in our books, you know. 2 chaos for any of the tier 6 to 10. 3 chaos for anything that is not tier 16. This is like what I did, you know. Would you ever sell that? Will you ever sell that? Like, who is gonna buy 56 tier 2 maps for 56 chaos? I don't know. Maybe there is somebody. I would not even bother putting anything up for sale. I just gonna have them, and they soon gonna be standard, and at some point gonna be legacy or whatever. Doesn't really matter. But this part here is the most profitable part and definitely sellable. I have 82 tier 60 maps with an average price of 5 chaos. I have quite a shit ton of unique maps. They definitely can sell. I don't know if I'm gonna like do that. There was, I think, like 300 chaos in total for all the unique maps that I have. But we found 103 Guardian maps, which is a mix of like Conqueror maps, Elder Guardians, and Shaper Guardians. So I put an average price of like 60 chaos per Conqueror map, 20 for Elder and Shaper. And then I have 361 burial chambers. So on my Atlas here, I do have the burial chamber as favorite map. And yeah, I have here quite a bunch of burial chamber maps, you know. Some of them are 11, some of them are 16. I think it's like a solid mix. Let me check. Tier 11. There is a bunch, like half of them are tier 11, half of them are tier 16. Obviously depends on what wave these maps drop. But they still, even the tier 11 ones do usually sell for like 5-6 chaos, because not everybody is able to do tier 16 juice maps. So that's why I said, you know what, I found 361 barrel chambers that I can bulk sell easily, but I also did them for 5 chaos. I personally would have said 7 or maybe 8 chaos in bulk, but people said even on 300 plus they are 5 chaos, so I said 5 chaos. It is what it is. And on top of that, you're gonna drop sometimes maps like these. You drop corrupted tier 16 8 modded maps with over 120 quantity, and they also sometimes roll with monster fires 2 additional projectiles. They can actually sell somewhere between 100 and 200 chaos if you have one of those. I had them in my quad tabs I got spammed, so I just put them in for 1 divine. They did not sell for 1 divine, but I guess 150 chaos or something like that could be a map like that worth with that quantity, with the additional projectiles, with these abyss spires kind of like strategy and whatnot. Good, go back to the overview. Stack decks, we picked up a 2,284 stack decks out of the simulacrums, and it depends how many you have. Usually if you have like 1 or 2 divines worth of stack decks, they go for like 1 to 70, maybe 1 to 65 if you have like 300-400. But if you have over 2,000 stack decks, you can actually bulk sell them for about 1 divine, about 55 stack decks, and that makes a total of like 41 divines worth of stack decks, and then basically still another 9 divines on the rest of the incubators. And obviously I was picking up incubators, but I was also using incubators while doing the simulacrums, right? So some of that currency just comes from incubators, whatever. That brings me to a total of 132,000 chaos, minus the initial spending would be a solid 126,110 chaos orbs profit, which would result in about 586 divines. That would mean that the profit per simulacrum is close to 10 divines, and calculating that with like an average time spent per simulacrum, and this is highly based on your build, I said 30 minutes per simulacrum is fine. I had low build or slow and low investment builds that needed like 36 minutes. My current build does them actually in 24 minutes or something if I have a good run. So I just said, you know, 30 minutes per simulacrum should be super fine, and that would net profit us almost 20 divines per hour without rolling maps, without rolling anything. If you say like 60 sims is like 30 hours of grinding, I mean, obviously it's gonna be lower when you do like breaks in between and stuff like that, you know, the usual thing. But a normal magic finder that does like 20 divines an hour is also calculating his, oh, I'm gonna grind now for like 10 hours straight, and then I'm gonna see, and then I say, oh, this is my divines per hour. You know, sometimes lucky, hey, if there is more drops, then you're gonna have like a higher average per hour, right? But for me saying, I don't think that I did anything special, like drop-wise. 20 divines an hour is freaking solid for just going in and just clear those maps, and I even leveled to level 100 while doing so. On top of that, and this is now the thing, remember when I said in my first video where I explained the project that I just don't want to level gems because I'm too lazy to buy them all the time, right? So Marty, one of my viewers and loved moderators, said, dude, I cannot watch you running sims without leveling gems. So he gave me gems to level, and where is it? Stack decks, incubators, dollars maybe. So in total, and this is why this one here is gray, this is not in the calculation. The trades, obviously, because it's in the currency tab. The gem leveling, because these are Marty's gems and not my gems. I just said like, hey, if you're gonna bring me the gems, I will level them for you because this is not part of my project. But just to give you an example on how much extra profit you would get while doing so. I think he started trading me the gems when I was like 10 sims in or something, right? And there is a couple more that are close to level 5. But in total, you know, I leveled up 72 gems from level 1 to level 5. And the difference between a level gem and a non-level gem is about 0.7 divines. Is not a lot, but obviously with that amount of bulk, it was about 50 divines profit just if I sell them right away. But obviously we're going to corrupt them. We're going to probably get a couple of level 6 ones and they're going to be more expensive. But, you know, overall, you're going to make quite a nice of extra currency, like 50 divines on top. So, what is tips and carries? That is the kind of like streamer benefit. Because there is a challenge this league where you have to do like a wave 30 simulacrum. Here it is, the ultimate undertaking, right? So what I did is like, since I was streaming... I think like 57 out of 60 sims I was streaming. And I told people like, hey, if somebody needs the completion, right, tell me, I can carry you that. And you can just tip whatever you want. If you don't have currency, then don't tip anything. It's fine. I would do the way 30 anyways, right? So in the end of the day, there is like no extra, like, it's not harder for me or anything like that. Or it's a bit more time consuming. It doesn't really matter. Point is, I said, there is the challenge. If you want to get that, come and take it, right? Just whisper me, I'll get you that, right? And then tip whatever you want. If it's 1 chaos, it's fine. If it's no chaos, it's fine. If it's a divine, I mean, it's totally up to you. I did not make these carries for the profit. But, you know, at the end of the day, I still have to say, this is what people tipped me over the course of the 60 sims. It's about 2,980 chaos, 70 divines, ancient orbs, a bunch of stacked decks. Somebody gave me... yeah, some depression with the Squire, some regret orbs. This was a Valdo's puzzle box. It just didn't went anything, but it was like a 3 divines tip, right? That was pretty cool. Somebody gave me a complete collection of Exalted Orb div cards here with the Elder Slayer, and I think that was like the last item that he traded, right? So that was completely up to the viewers when they said like, you know, but I think the top 3, one guy tipped me 20 divines. I remember that because... I was about to end the stream. I'm like, yo, I've done enough sims today. I'm just, you know, I'm gonna take a rest. And he's like, yo, bro, I need another sim carry. And I said, like, bro, I just, you know, tomorrow again. He's like, yo, I'm gonna tip you 20 divines. And I'm like, why would you tip 20 divines for a Simulacrum carry? I mean, what's up with that, you know? And the thing is, he just said, because I'm rich. It's totally fine, you know, but it's 20 divines for a Simulacrum carry. One guy tipped me 5 divines. And what was the top 3? I think the Squires are pretty good. I mean, the Valdo's puzzle box was also 2.7 divines, and I think there was something else. A Voidborn Reliquary Key together with the puzzle box. I think that would be 5 divines tips or something. But as I said, that is also not in the calculation. But if you wonder, to summarize that up, how much did you make then? Well, I made about over a mirror profit in that case. That would be a 24 divines per hour if I would continuously do that. But I think... I helped like half the league getting their Wave 30 Simulacrum thingy going, so I think that is fine to go. But the thing is like, is this the end? No, obviously not, because we have so much stuff still for sale. Remember like, I don't know, 8, 9 quad tabs full of like items, the Megalomaniacs, then we have the bulk selling here, that's fine, the stacked decks that I'm probably gonna open. Some items that I have in my trade tab that are, this is actually one that somebody wanted to buy before, but I was just like on the toilet or something, I don't know, touching myself. But I missed that trade, because otherwise that would be on the trade, but that would have been sold. You know, some other stuff that is just a couple divines, that is not in the calculation either. But yeah, so it's just gonna go up from there, you know, every single day. This is like the next step that I want to do. Like, first of all, merge all these tabs with my private tabs, so I have like a complete thing. Then tomorrow I'm gonna do a sell stream, you know, just trying to sell everything. When it comes to Megalomaniacs, they are super specific. As I said, one single sold for 10 divines, because I just throw them in a 10 divines tab, you know. And basically what I'm gonna do is every day, when I know I'm gonna play all day, you know, I'm just gonna put these now on 90 chaos. I'm gonna put 90 chaos on each of my tabs, right? And I'm gonna continuously do this every single day. I'm gonna drop the entire quad tab by 10 chaos, and once it reaches 10 chaos, then I'm just gonna pick up everything and vendor everything because I see BA doing trades for like 3 or 4 chaos. Maybe they would sell, but hey, you know, I mean, I have so many items over here at some point, you know, but I constantly sell items for 100 chaos or 90 chaos, 80 chaos whatsoever, so I know there's probably gonna be 20, 30, 40 more divines that is coming from my quad tabs and so on. And the megalomaniacs, I'm probably gonna drop them by 1 divine per day. I did not get spammed for any of those. They can be so specific for the right megalomaniac to the right person. I remember there was another league where I bought a megalomaniac for 100 divines, you know. If it has the exact perfect stats that I need for my build, and it's the only one on the market, and the guy is asking 100 divines, then what am I supposed to do? You know, I'm asking for 90, maybe, I get it, but in the end of the day, you can get super lucky and you find the perfect one for the right buyer, and they can go for a lot more than 10 divines. I'm just gonna, you know, 10 divines, fine. I'm gonna drop that one every single day, and that should sell over time. And if you're wondering, I think I wrote this even down. Where is it? The sales over here. It had wizardry, pure aptitude. So wizardry is the one node that gives you 2 maximum lightning resistance. The pure aptitude was the one with the purity of lightning mana reservation. So that was like a good combination for lightning resistance stacker. And there was one node that gave like 70 flat ES or something like that. So, you know, there's one of the combinations. The guy said, yo, that's worth for me 10 divines. Then hey, this is the 10 divines, right? Good. I think I mentioned pretty much everything. I'm missing 2. Oh my god, I didn't even want to show that, but yeah, this happened at some point. I don't know, but I failed 1 simulacrum. Happens, I guess. So instead of a 1,800 waves, I did 1,798, but I still think that because of that, I'm a pretty good surfer for the next summer, I guess. Good, enough talking. If you want to do this, feel free to do so. I would say it is very, very, very profitable, and it was not that bad at all. Now, it actually is boring, right? But it does the job. It's not magic find, and it gives you quite a pretty penny and can be a lot more. But it would be the same with magic finding. Hey, you can drop a mage blood, you know, and get like extra benefits or extra currency. You know, if you drop a 1 passive voices, I mean, you know, can get very, very crazy with the amount of chaos or divines per hour that you can get. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna spend the next probably 2 or 3 days trying to vendor, and not vendor, but trade everything and make a lot of money, and then start the next project, I guess, and the next character, and the next whatever. And the POB of my character is obviously in the description below. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.